Yo everybody, how's it going? I hope you're doing really well and thanks for clicking on this video. I just want to say that today is my birthday, and this day last year I was actually on an animal concentration camp where they confined animals in really horrific, disgusting conditions. Now some people call this type of place a farm, but how anyone can confine 6-month-old dogs, sorry, did I say dogs? You might have heard there for a second. I actually meant pigs. The way that they were is beyond me. You can leave your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, myself and other activists here in Northern Ireland, we went on to a Red Tractor approved family run pig farm, and we uncovered some pretty horrific stuff. I'm talking dead bodies on the floors, dumpsters filled with rotten corpses, and pigs confined in horrific conditions, and some were mutilating each other. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've linked that video above, and if you're on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, there'll be a link on one of my profiles to my YouTube channel, and you can check that out. Now with this video, I want to share with you some of the comments that were shared online at the time. The reason it's only coming out now, well, I thought it's a 1 year anniversary and there's still people that think like this to this day, and also I was burned out, from what I'd seen and from making the video, and I just thought I'll put it away for now and use the material at some time. So hopefully with this we can have a laugh and be objective and keep it truthful. I'm happy enough if you want to share your comments and let me know what you think. So yeah, let's get into it. So this person says, "There is so much could be said on the topic, but it brings me back to the words of an uncle of mine long gone. Hope he's happy. One time my cousin stomped on a spider. We were about 8 or 9 years old, and he said, 'The spark of life in that little spider is the exact same as the spark of life in you, and you just took it away.' I'd forgotten about those words until I saw your post today. Thank you all, you're heroes." I wouldn't really call us heroes. I just think we're doing the right thing, but it's true. You know, we all have that spark of life inside us, and we're talking about sentient, conscious, feeling, thinking, breathing animals. So yeah, this person obviously gets it and sees the how immoral it was what we uncovered, and that it's just wrong. So we're off to a good start anyway. I obviously agree with that. Now, the next person says, "What you're doing is foul. You think you're saving animals, but all you're doing is ruining farmers' livelihoods and this country's declining agricultural heritage. What you're doing is unnatural. You wouldn't like it if someone walked into your home and took all your money and possessions, and so why do it to farmers? The death sentence should be brought back for thieving scum like yourselves." Wow. So they think what we did was foul. We did save an animal, and by making content, we made other people aware, made other people think and make their own choices to also save animals in the future being born into existence, bred solely for the purpose of slaughter. So I would say that we did save animals, and maybe even to this day that's still in effect. Ruining farmers' livelihoods. So they're saying that the farmer is the victim here, not the actual animals that are living in filth, that are sent to a slaughterhouse at 6 months old and having their throats sliced. They're not the victims, but the farmer is. Okay, so it's a very human-centric point of view here. This country's declining agricultural heritage. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that, you know, we shift to a plant-based agriculture system because it's better in so many ways. This country's declining agricultural heritage. What you're doing is unnatural. We're not saying that we're not advocating that people do not what is natural. I mean, we just have to look at nature to see that there's things that happen in nature that we would not agree with. I mean, animals slaughtering each other. We're not advocating that we only do what is natural. Okay, so we're asking the people to do what is moral. You wouldn't like it if someone walked into your home and took all your money and your possessions. So they're literally looking at animals like property, possessions, and money. They're not looking at them for the individuals that they are. They're not looking at them in terms of giving consideration to what these animals would prefer. Not to be objectified, for sure. Not to just be seen as money making machines, really. So why do it to farmers? The death sentence should be brought back for thieving scum like yourselves. I mean, the death sentence for literally saving someone's life and trying to spread awareness and trying to save lives in the future from suffering, misery, and slaughter, for thieving scum like yourselves. I mean, in the eyes of the law, animals are property. So in the eyes of the law, I guess you could call it theft, but what's legal hasn't always been moral, and we just have to look back in not too distant history to see that slavery was legal, the Holocaust was legal. So, you know, just have a think about that. So this person says, "Speaking as a meat eater here, I have to say I'm with the activists on this one. Those conditions the animals are in is fucking disgusting." Yeah, I mean, the conditions were disgusting, but we're not welfarists. We're pro liberation. So we're not trying to raise awareness and say those animals need to be in better conditions. We're saying like it's just fundamentally wrong to keep animals, to breed animals, and to slaughter them for money when you don't need to do that, and you can make money and whatever else you want to do in other ways. It's not the conditions necessarily that were the problem. Someone commented and said, "So will you now stop paying for animals to be exploited and killed?" And then they replied and said, "You're implying that all these places operate the same." So this person is obviously a welfarist, okay? They want bigger cages, not animals, just not in cages. That's what we advocate, obviously. I can assure you that this is far from the case. There are plenty of farmers out there who would also be disgusted by these very poor, unhygienic conditions. Like, I agree that they were poor and unhygienic. Although I'll probably be giving more thought to buying from locally sourced places in the future. Like, this whole myth of local equals good, just because someone had their throat slit locally, it's still wrong. It's still morally wrong. You can buy local produce that's vegan as well. So it's just the mental gymnastics that cognitive dissonance brings up when people try to justify something that's inherently unjustifiable, in my point of view. This person says, "Sad and all that, but there's nothing wrong with eating meat. Everyone has their own choices in life." So I'm wondering why they would say it was sad, because they obviously think that there is something wrong. No one thinks things are okay when they're sad, There's nothing wrong with eating meat. Everyone has their own choices in life. So there obviously is something wrong with eating meat. And I don't like to even word it that way. It's their words, but when you say eating meat, you're disconnecting yourself, eating a dead animal who suffered and did not want to die. Okay, so there's obviously something wrong with it when you think about it like that. When you think about it from the animal's point of view, which is what we really should be doing here. Everyone has their own choices in life. I mean, that's not a line of thinking that is very rational, because a rapist could say everyone has their own choices in life. A child molester could say everyone has their own choices in life. A murderer could say everyone has their own choices in life. The list of injustices goes on and on and on, and that line of thinking, it doesn't stand up. Here's another one. Okay, so that's just life, isn't it? That's just life, isn't it? Some things just have to be done for our survival, so shut the fuck up. You need meat for protein and carbs and all the things you need for a healthy body, but yous weird cunts think that a fucking leaf is all you need. Wind your necks in and open your eyes to reality, you fucking twats. So this person doesn't know how to use a comma, doesn't know how to spell. It just made it hard for me to read and speak properly. That's just life, isn't it? That's kind of like the last one. Everyone has their own choices in life. If we take that attitude, we would just sit back and let everything that's an injustice happen, and we would never protest, and we would never demand, things be better. Imagine going up to someone who's speaking out against racism and saying, "Listen, mate, just stop what you're doing, because that's just life." I mean, they would just be laughed out of the street, and it wouldn't persuade anyone. So this is just a defeatist attitude. It's a non-starter. Some things just have to be done. Yeah, and this isn't one of them. Some things just have to be done for our survival. You're not in a survival situation when you go into the supermarket and pick up some neatly wrapped animal flesh marketed to you. It's not a survival situation. If you're literally in a survival situation and an animal's going to kill you, okay, that's justification, but that is not the case in 2021. So a non-argument, it's flawed. It doesn't make sense. So shut the fuck up. You need meat for protein. You do not need meat for protein, because all vitamins, minerals, they all start off in plants. Okay, so it's talking about protein and carbs. Everything comes from plants. What you get out of eating animal products comes from the diet that the animal consumed, and that was plants. Okay, so healthy body. Talking about a healthy body, it's just not, animal products aren't healthy. End of. But yous weird cunts think that a fucking leaf is all you need. There's never been a vegan to have walked this earth to say a leaf is all that we need. You can literally get anything that you want that's made from plants that is typically what you would have consumed when you had animal products. So, I mean, I'm talking taste, texture, appearance, the way it cooks, everything. We've just moved on now, and no one is eating grass, okay? So wind your necks in and open your eyes to reality, you fucking twats. I mean, the irony of this person telling us to open our eyes, we literally opened people's eyes to reality. People act like this was staged or filmed in a special effects studio or something, but this person is obviously triggered. I mean, they're swearing, It's comical really, but really it's sad because they obviously have fell short of seeing, the truth. This next one, someone said, stop eating meat and they wouldn't have an income from this. Completely agree. And it's not just meat, vegans, it abstains from all types of animal products, but it's also supporting, we don't support zoos, we don't support dog racing, horse racing, animals used for labour, products tested on animals, check out the vegan philosophy. But yeah, in general, if people stopped eating animals, like, they wouldn't be bred into existence in the first place. So completely agree with that. Someone beneath that said, cruel bastards, I love my meat, but I really hate cruelty. That is a classic example of cognitive dissonance. I mean, this person loves the taste of animal flesh, but they hate cruelty. Well, I'm actually not sorry to tell you this. You need to hear this, that if you hate cruelty, then you cannot justify loving your meat, because you can't have animal flesh without cruelty. That's just the way it is. Watch some slaughterhouse footage and, it doesn't take that long to realise. This person says, bad fucker doing that to poor pigs. Completely agree. I mean, atrocious the way these pigs were found. As long as people eat these animals, humans will continue to do this. Yep, 100%. See, the thing is about welfareists, they think they're doing the right thing and that we make things better for animals but still exploit them for their bodies and still send them to the slaughterhouse. But the fact is, you have welfareists and you have like high welfare farms and everything, but by just the existence of by just people eating animals, there's always going to be cases where people cut corners and people think they can get away with it. So the very reality that we keep in existence and we keep funding with our money creates these scenarios. So there's never a humane way to exploit someone who doesn't want to be exploited and murdered. Long and short of it. We got a classic one here. Bacon. So this person's obviously fought long and hard, and they must be like a real good comedy writer. That's some original stuff right there. But not even gonna answer that. It's immature. Shocking, but what's worse is there's no such thing as justice unless things get taken into your own hands. Completely agree. I mean, that's a sad state of the world that we live in. We campaign to politicians, and their interests aren't really, they don't have the people's interests at heart in many aspects in life. It's just a bit of a circus. But yeah, we decided this time around to do something and take it into our own hands, and animal liberation is not going to happen any other way unless animals are liberated. So yeah, completely agree.